them type of careers where it's promised high paid and earning potential, lawyer, doctor, engineer, when you hear somebody saying, oh yeah, I'm aspiring to be all that, you just look at them a certain way, like you really doing it big. Whereas if I tell someone, oh yeah, I'm trying to be a YouTuber, bro, they like, oh yeah? With them other jobs, you work hard enough, it's gonna take some time, but you're gonna get there. But with YouTube, when it's no result that you could show somebody, that whole feels empty. It feels like a dream, almost. Now that I don't have the results to show it, I feel like I'm behind, even though, hey bro, you could be right here. It's kind of like a loading bar. That joint lag, you start here, that joint skip all the way to the finish line, gang. You never know, as opposed to somebody joint doing these. Your joint could do these. You feel me? Our loading bars is all going to get done loading at different times. It don't mean you're not making no progress. It just means people don't see it. Always remember that. Gen Z has a serious comparison problem. Video by Todd Buggy Podcast. This could not be any more of a fact. Literally every time I see another person, bro, I worry about how much more money they got than me. I look at the way they look. I'm like, yo, I don't look the way they look. I wish I looked the way they looked. Maybe they height, they physique, they bone structure, pause. Not that bone structure, but literally everything that I'm missing out on that I see in another person, I'm kind of like, oh, I want that. And then only when you do that, you will start to see that all of the positive things that you have about yourself, them joints seem to fade out of existence. You can't even find them no more. You don't even start to see that you are enough. Shout out my man Todd Boogie Hoodie, you know what I'm saying? But once you obsess over everything else that somebody else has, you don't even start to see the good that you have. And then inevitably, I feel like you will lose yourself in all of that. So let's see exactly why Gen Z has a comparison problem and see if there is a solution to it all. Todd Boogie, take it away.
The word anxiety is like one of the most popular words in the last decade, right? It's like we keep hearing this word to the point it's becoming a buzzword, right?
Yeah.
But anxiety is something that is actually affecting people in a way that I don't hear a lot of people talking about. And it's really the pressures of feeling like you're not on time, feeling like the boat may have passed you.
Yeah.
Seeing other people do good, but you look at your life and you're like, damn, I'm behind. See, it may not show up as panic attacks and breakdowns. On the surface, you probably look like you're good. The people around you don't really talk to you about it because you play it so smooth. But on the inside, you feel behind. Behind financially, behind spiritually, behind in relationships, behind where you thought you would be by now. And of course, the world is not forgiving at all. Social media constantly reminds you of everybody else's success stories. People younger than you doing better than you. You seeing your old classmates posting on their story, they getting married or they just bought the new house. You're seeing all of this while you're still building. And slowly but surely, that comparison turns into self-doubt. Self-doubt turns into shame, and shame makes you question your value. Am I even worthy of those things that I want? Am I even worthy of those things I see other people have? You start asking yourself, like, did I waste my time all these years? Maybe it just will never happen for me. Maybe
bro, look, as long as you were giving it your full effort, you can feel any way you want to feel, but just know that you're doing your thing. No matter how long it takes, if you're genuinely giving that joint a good effort, there's nothing for you to worry about. But if you're BSing and you're, you know what I'm saying, you leaning halfway in, halfway out, you're not putting your all into it, or you're not really on your grind the way you know you need to be, then, oh yeah, look at social media and say, yeah, I'm playing around. Look at this boy, he a millionaire, bro, I could have that. But if you're giving it your all, there's no need for you to do that, bro. Literally, I feel like, I'm glad Todd Boogie has said this at one point in the video. I'm going to expound on it a little bit. I feel like where anxiety comes from, bro, is having a certain image of yourself that you feel like you need to be, where you actually are not lining up with that and constantly trying to, you know what I'm saying, act like you're there. Not being okay with where you truly are. I feel like that's where the anxiety really lies, feeling like you have to be at a certain level just because society says so. Instead of just being okay with being where you're at, acknowledging that, oh yeah, I want to keep improving, and then taking pride in that improvement once you inevitably do get there. But even if you're not there, take pride in the effort, gang. Because the effort is what's going to really get you there. That's what really, you know what I'm saying, builds your character. That's where diamonds is made, bro, under pressure. You know what I'm saying? So just the fact that you trying oftentimes is better than the fact that you achieved a certain goal that you perceive to be good. You know what I'm saying? Because the only reason a lot of us want to get certain places is because we see it on the internet. Like Ty Buggy said, we feel like we should be living a certain type of lifestyle because that's what we see everybody else doing on social media. When that's really just not the case. The only thing you need to be worried about is living your life the way you want to live your life to the fullest extent that you can and being okay with who you is, bro. Take ego out of all this stuff. Wander the earth is just, you mean, like a faceless traveler. That's kind of the, you know what I'm saying, metaphor that I like to see it as. I don't have any identity except the one that I choose for myself, gang. And that's all you will ever need. Indeed.
That window. Did I miss that window? Did God forget about me? I'm here to remind you guys that you are not behind. You are still being built.
I'm only 20 years old, and I still feel so fucking behind. You smell me like I just turned 20?
Cuz said you smell me. Is that the new you feel me?
But it's like I've been feeling so behind ever since I was like 18, maybe even 19. Probably 18. Like when I turned 18, it was like, bro, I just felt so behind. And it wasn't even because motherfuckers was getting cars, motherfuckers was getting rich, this.
It was just because at 18, I didn't know what the fuck I wanted to do with my life. You smell me like I'm going through my Instagram, I'm going through my Snapchat.
Bro, that joint's not clean. That you smell me, that's not gonna catch on, bro.
Stories, I'm seeing these niggas, they saying they want to be future nurses, engineers, this, businessman, doctor, nerd, all this shit, and I'm sitting back like, what the fuck do I want to do with my life?
Facts.
And I couldn't give you a fucking
bro,
answer.
Them type of careers where it's promised high paid, you know what I'm saying, earning potential, lawyer, doctor, engineer. When you hear somebody saying, oh yeah, I'm aspiring to be all that, even a nurse, I'm aspiring to be these things, you just look at them a certain way, like you really doing it big. Whereas if I tell someone, oh yeah, I'm trying to be a YouTuber, bro, they like, oh yeah. We know the earning potential on that joint, but there's no guaranteed path to it. With them other jobs, you work hard enough, it's going to take some time, but you're going to get there. But with YouTube, when there's no result that you could show somebody, that whole feels empty. It feels like a dream, almost. Seems so unrealistic for whatever reason. But yeah, bro, I definitely relate to feeling like whenever another smart person that was in my high school class is trying to be an engineer or a lawyer, I'm like, dang, bro, I don't want to do none of that. I probably could, but my soul doesn't want that deep down. So what I'm doing now that I don't have the results to show it, I feel like I'm behind, even though, hey, bro, you could be right here. It's kind of like a loading bar. That joint lag, you start here, that joint skip all the way to the finish line, gang. You never know, as opposed to somebody joint doing these. Your joint could do these. You feel me? So don't even compare, bro. Our loading bars is all going to get done loading at different times. It don't mean you're not making no progress. It just mean people don't see it. It don't mean it's not happening though. Always remember that. You know what I'm saying?
You know, that's very natural. Like, that's very normal for 18. If you're 18-year-old, you watch my videos, shout out to you, because you're going to grow with me. But at 18, at 17, I told myself that I wanted to be an engineer, right? I got to college and immediately realized, okay, engineering's not for me. So I switched it to something else that I think will make my Haitian parents proud, which is nursing.
Oh, yeah.
Quickly found out that nursing wasn't for me.
Nope.
Now I switched my major to business. I'm doing business, but I'm like, okay, but what exactly am I gonna do with a business degree?
You don't need
this
that
is
job.
all like going on at 18. It's very common to be confused. And now looking back, I don't do any of those things. I actually did 10 years in the military, wound up working at a warehouse, worked at a cell phone kiosk, worked at the airport, ended up making some good money on social media, invested in the real estate, and now I'm a full-time content creator. But this is what I'm trying to get you guys to realize.
Yes,
I've been
sir.
a content creator for over 10 years now. There's been a lot of videos I've posted that didn't get any views, that didn't get any likes. But my time is my time. I couldn't keep comparing myself to the DDGs of the world, to the Mr. Beasts of the world, to the B-Loos and Zias of the world. See, back in the day, I feel like people were able to grind and make it when they're 40, make it in their mid-30s. And nobody really knew like what it took You wasn't constantly reminded that somebody else younger than you already figured it out. I think the best part about life is the quest of figuring it out. As long as you are on that string of trying to figure it out,
Yes.
you will get to answers. Now,
Yes,
I'm not
sir.
somebody that sit here and be like, oh, BS all your 20s and then figure it out in your 30s. No, I feel like you should take life serious in your 20s, but don't feel like you're behind. Most people, see, if you go by averages, right? If you're somebody that likes to believe in averages, most people BS their 20s. Most people, they have to fix all the mistakes they made in their 20s in their 30s. They finally get it somewhat right in their 30s. By their 40s, they finally have it figured out.
Yeah.
By their 50s, they're looking and preparing for retirement. That's usually how people's lives go. By you not having a fancy car outside, you having a big house, you not having a wife right now, a husband right now, does not mean you're behind. Because then I would ask you, behind from what? A schedule that you gave yourself before you knew about life? I think the only thing we can control is our right now, right? And as long as we're walking in the directions, in the things that we want to receive in life, they're either one gonna come one day or we're gonna feel real good that we never quit. That comparison is truly the thief of all joy.
Bro, I'm 25 and I
That's
feel
a
like I've done
fact.
nothing with my life. You're 25. Relax. No, this 19-year-old on TikTok just bought his second house. And I still Google how to boil eggs. Dude, I saw a 17-year-old who owns a yacht. And I thought I was doing well because I finally bought matching socks. It's like everyone's rich, shredded, and engaged. And I'm over here microwaving leftover spaghetti at 1 a.m. Dude, I got winded carrying groceries up one flight of stairs and had to take a call just to catch my breath. What if I missed my window? Your window? You're 25. Your window hasn't even shipped from Amazon yet. Just thought I'd have it all figured out by now. At 25? I thought I'd be a dinosaur trainer by now. You can't, that's not possible. Then reality hits. Bro, I tried writing a 5-year plan. First step, wake up. I panicked and took a nap. My 5-year plan is just
It
survive.
be like that.
Maybe do laundry. I saw a 21-year-old who retired. Retired.
What's the dichotomy of this? Like an old head versus a young head?
I don't even know how to fold a fitted sheet. I retired from leg day 3 years ago. You want to split?
We gotta really be careful with comparing ourselves to people on social media because you really don't know what people had to go through to get
Exactly.
there. I'll use myself as an example. As a content creator, I know a lot of people, and I see the comments, people look at me and they be like, man, you've done so much, at such a young age. I'm about
Yeah.
to be 30 this year, and I see older people comment and everything. But what people don't see is what I had to go through to get here. Yeah, I mean, and where I'm still trying to go. But I had to go to Iraq. You know what I mean? I had to do 10 years in the military. I have a lot of injuries on my body. Now, I mean, a lot of the psychology things that I know actually came from me being traumatized. You know what I mean? And I had to fix those things. I had to go through therapy. Me finding a wife, I had to go through weird relationships. So I've been through things. So don't look at a content, be like, I should be in the same place as this content.
That's literally what social media is, bro. You don't see what didn't work. You only see what did work. You know what I'm saying? Because why do people want to show you their struggles? Because then you're going to start to think that they, you know what I'm saying, bad things about them. When people are struggling, when the things that they try don't work, you start to see them as a failure. A failure. Sorry. I don't know what that was. A little Philly accent kicking in. I don't really know. But literally, when something doesn't work, you get seen as a failure. But when something does work, you're just seen as the victor. And that's what social media is. They try to make it seem like they figured that joint out so quickly with no errors, bro. That's literally what you're comparing yourself to. You only looking at the people that's doing good early on, earlier than you. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what starts to make you feel like you're lacking. You know what I mean? But social media is literally just designed for people to post what has worked or the highlights and not the lowlights. So you can't even look at that joint for real. You know what I'm saying? Because you don't even know you don't get to see what, like Ty Boogie said, right? I'm low-key repeating this point. You don't get to see what they went through to get to where they at. You only see where they at and you start to say, oh, wow, this joint just happened magically. Like, no, bro. It was a whole process behind that, much like the process you going through right now. So it's beauty in the struggle, man. Like J. Cole once said, you know what I'm saying? Where that John at? Yeah, beauty in the struggle.
because we're the same age. Some of the sacrifices that I took, most people aren't willing to take. I've had a lot of bad years, but through those years, my vision was always on the hills. It's so crazy because when I look back at the first video that I played for you all, this video right here, I was this exact guy. I used to work at Coffee Bean in Hartsfield Jackson airport, right? And I remember I used to walk home, and I'm walking home. I lived in the city. Granted, it wasn't the best neighborhood in the city, but I used to take the train to get home, and then I had to walk from the train station all the way back home. And walking home, I would see some nice cars, these beautiful hotels, and I just remember thinking to myself, like, man, I'm so far
what am I doing
from being able to get in a hotel like this or being able to have a car like that, but one day I will. Now, I mean, but there was always two sides. One side is I feel so far. Then the other side is,
you got plenty
but
of
I know
time.
one day I will have it. And honestly, instead of constantly looking in the mirror and checking my physique, I just believe showing up every day, something is going to work. Something is going to happen.
Yeah.
And if it doesn't happen, I will die trying. But the problem with...
Because I don't know about anybody else, bro, but much like he said, I have that internal belief that I'm the bull that just makes stuff happen. Like, I'm destined for greatness. What I feel like I can get it. It's not a matter of whether or not I could do it. It's just a matter of when. And I feel like most people have that internal belief, but a lot of people just, you know what I'm saying? They bury their dreams early because they let reality sink in too hard on them. They started thinking too realistically. Which, realistically, what even is that? You know what I'm saying? Realistically, if you don't take risks, my nigga, you're not going to get nowhere. So, you know what I'm saying? You could look at the realistic, you know what I'm saying, statistics of what doesn't happen. You know what I'm saying? You could look at that. It's like, it's worth it looking at that, you know what I'm saying? Just so you know how much risk you're taking. But at the end of the day, you don't want to give it too much power to the point where you're like, yo, bro, my goals is so unrealistic. Even though it's not a 0% chance that they happen, it might as well. It might as well be. You know what I'm saying? Once you start to look at it like that, and once you start burying your true dreams like that, gang, I feel like that's when your internal sense of confidence, it just disappears.
Comparison, it makes you feel like timing equals your worth. And that if it hasn't happened yet, something must be wrong with you. But comparison never really tells the full story. Just like the story I just told y'all that I had to go through. Once again, you don't know what somebody sacrificed. You don't know what someone compromised. You don't know what somebody rushed before they were ready. In other words, you don't know the losses that some people had to take. I've taken some really big losses. I'm talking about 30,000s and 50,000s and 60,000s of dollars, just lost it. You know what I mean? Like, I've learned from this, but if you're comparing yourself to me, you need to see the full picture. This is the part that the content creators are not going to tell you. This is the part you don't see. You don't see when you're scrolling on your For You page. Therefore, don't compare yourself to just the finished picture. Understand that there was context behind that. And that context is possibly the part that you're experiencing, which is the real life. Not just the finished picture. Y'all know it's Sunday. Now, I mean, everybody's not going to watch a sermon. So I want to tie a scripture into all of this. All right.
Okay.
So 2 Corinthians chapter 10, verse 12. When they measure themselves by themselves and compare themselves with themselves, they are not wise. Comparison replaces wisdom with pressure. Pressure makes you rush decisions. Pressure makes you skip preparation. Pressure makes you want the fruit without the root, and rushed fruit never lasts.
Does anybody ever feel like, why is everybody else winning in life? Why is everybody surpassing me in life? You know, people that I've worked with, people that I went to school with. It seemed like I'm behind. I just want y'all to know it's okay. Like, it's all in your head, you know? Everybody has their own journey. You know, some people may be looking at you like, why is that person winning over me? We all have our...
It's all perspective, yeah.
You know,
there's people looking at your back like, yo, I'm trying to reach them. You looking at somebody else back thinking the same thing, bro. It's literally all perspective.
Our own paths, and we all have our own wants and desires. So just don't give up. Don't be so hard on yourself, and just know that your time is coming. Okay.
Yo, you know what's funny? My grandmother and my uncle, my great uncle, I don't know why, but on Christmas Day they was giving me and my brother game. They was talking about, yo, these girls, I know it's tough nowadays. They gonna want to snatch y'all boys up though. I want y'all to know it's hard to find true love, but when you truly do, yeah, be careful, because the wrong one to snatch you up, because you guys is so valuable. Y'all got your own cars. Y'all got your own money. Y'all got a good head on your shoulders. Y'all got manners. Y'all got good values. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. They was talking about how much more that me and my brother have than a lot of people our age. And it could be true, but I almost didn't believe them. I don't know why, bro. Mostly because I am looking at people on social media that's really going crazy. People with job titles that sound spectacular. You know what I'm saying? It seemed like every time I try to talk to a John, she got some professional behind career. I'm like, golly, that sound impressive. What's that? But I just feel stupid asking that question because I'm working where I work at. It just don't sound as good as where they work at. But literally everything is perspective, bro. Literally, I don't know what caused my great uncle and my grandmother to talk to me and my brother like that, but that really did instill somewhat of a sense of confidence in me. I'm like, dang, y'all see me like that? You know what I'm saying? It really just goes to show how fragile our perceptions and how untrue our perceptions of ourselves can really be. You know what I'm saying? Because people could see things in you that you don't even see in yourself. I don't mean it's not there, though. Indeed.
Jim Carrey said it perfectly. I was scrolling on my For You page. I think this was on TikTok. And he said, I think everybody should get rich and famous just so they can realize what they're looking for, what they're chasing is not the answer. Which is why I strongly believe, I tell y'all that this is one of my favorite songs all the time. Love yours. Love
J.
where
Cole.
you are at.
Yes, sir.
Love your grind. Love your story that's being built. Think about it. The kid that was handed everything in life, how interesting is his book going to be? You know what I mean? How interesting is reading that book? Everything was just given to him versus the rags to riches guy. You know what I mean? That's inspiring. I'm getting chills just thinking about it. That's inspiring. That's a great read.
Mm-hmm.
There's so many lessons that can be learned. That might be your book. Your book might need the stages that you're in right now. The
for character
stages that
development.
you came from.
Adversity.
Your book needs that.
What's a good story without some adversity, gang? If everything is sunshine and rainbows, that's not even a good story. People don't want to watch no TV shows like that, no movies like that, read no books like that. Just imagine yourself as a character. You know what I'm saying? On the journey. That's what I be doing. That joint be giving me chills when I do that, bro. Because I see all the goats in my animes that I watch. I'm like, yo, they down right now. But I know they gonna go up, gang. By the time I finish the show, oh yeah, they certified, stamped. And that's gonna be me one day for sure.
My book and your book will have different pages. You can be inspired, but don't compare because you don't know the behind the scenes. Everybody's ready to paint you a picture. But at the end of the day, all of our books, if there was a passage behind all these pictures, all of the passages would be different.
Mm-hmm.
Therefore, don't compare yourself to nobody you see. You wake up every day and put one foot in front of the other. And whatever results come out of that is what comes out of that. Just make sure you're taking the right steps. But don't compare yourself to nobody. But just never give up on yourself. This is the last scripture I want to give you, then we're going to get out of here. Ecclesiastes chapter 3, verse 1, There is a time for everything and a season for every activity under the heavens. Notice it doesn't say a schedule. It says a season. And the season can't be rushed. You can't rush winter into becoming summer. You can't rush planting into harvest. You can't rush maturity. A seed that's dug up too early doesn't last longer. It dies faster. I want to give you guys one more analogy on how I want you to see your life. Because there's a lot of people that's going through a storm, but you don't realize how much you're in the building phase right now. Let's just imagine you're passing by a construction zone, right? You're on the road and you're passing by and they're doing construction. You see cranes, you see a whole bunch of stuff, right? Let me ask you a question. At a construction zone, what are they doing? They're building something, right? But when you look over there, what do you realize? They're messy. It's loud. They're inconvenient, and they look incomplete. It's like they always look incomplete.
Yeah.
But they are necessary. Spiritually, mentally, physically, financially, A lot of us are still in our construction zones. God is working underground. He has his helmet working on you right now, healing the things that you've never addressed, teaching you patience. I always say, you don't want to get to the place that you've been fighting to get to just to realize you wasn't ready to be there. He's rewiring how you think through your failures. And my favorite part, removing people that will slow down your growth. But you don't see progress because internal growth is invisible.
Facts.
All right, but yo, I'm gonna leave this video right here. All right, I hope this touched somebody. All right, especially as we are entering this year, this new year. Now, I mean, we're in January, so I just want y'all to come into this year with a new mindset, see everything differently, grow. Now, I mean, reach the hills, constantly climb, but don't compare yourself to the person that's already at the top of the hill. That's how you get an injury fast. And if you don't get anything out of
My
this,
nigga spitting.
remember that all of our books will be read differently. All of our passages, all of the words will be said differently. Therefore, don't compare yourself to nobody that you see. Because ain't nothing more interesting than the rash to riches guy anyways.
Oh, bro.
Anyways, y'all, it's been your boy, Ty Boogie. Make sure you hit that like
Man,
button.
shout out my boy, bro. Shout out Ty Boogie. I feel like I gotta start spitting because he was spitting some poetry. I ain't even gonna lie, bro. Can I? I don't know. I don't know if I got some poetry to impart on y'all, but yeah, bro. Literally, like what he said, stay on your journey. You know what I'm saying? Because you never know when that joint gonna blow. Hold on now, I'm getting a little flow. You know what I'm saying? I'm rhyming a little bit. You know what I'm saying? We styling a little bit. They don't gotta see it though. That don't mean it ain't happening because you already know. Oh, hold on, gang. No, let me just finish the vid, gang. But yeah, in all seriousness, yeah, bro, don't look at nobody else. You see what they got, but you don't see what they had to go through to get there. You see what you got. You start not appreciating that hoe. But literally, look at how much good things you have in your life that other people would be dying for. That's not to say, oh yeah, I'm in a better place than them. It just gets you to look at why are they so thankful, or why do they yearn for that thing that I have so bad? It must mean that it's valuable. And once you start really realizing that you're valuable, you start to become more appreciative of it. Because rarely do we have the time to just sit back and look at what we have because we're so focused on what we don't have. Hold on, bars. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes keep going forward, obviously stay tunnel vision at times. But then at times when the work is done and it's really time for relaxation and rest and recuperation, look at everything you got so far, bro. Say, yo, this was me. All this I got, I did that. And I'm gonna keep going crazy. Cause I got these, I know I could get them too. You know what I'm saying? Just because I don't got them right now and that person do, that don't mean I'm not doing nothing wrong. It just means it wasn't my time. You mean? Because literally, if we had, as people, if we all had a one solution fixes all thing, everybody would be doing that thing. But things like that just don't exist. So you got to find your own path. You got to carve your own lane. Literally, bro, imagine taking the same path as everybody else or branching off from them niggas. You know what I'm saying? Really, I don't know, putting in that work to make the path like walkable. And then imagine seeing people follow that path after you. You know what I'm saying? Instead of doing what the crowd doing, you make your own. Yeah. You know what I'm trying to say, bro. You carve your own path, your own, you mean, bro. Just like Naruto did. He got his face carved in the mountain now. For all my anime fans that know Naruto Shippuden, oh yeah, bro. Just know that joint gonna get built at the end of the day. You see what he had to go through, you see what you gonna have to go through. Just know as long as you go through it and you keep that faith alive that you will get through it, you gonna get through it. Indeed. On your timing. Nobody else's timing but yours. Yes, sir. This is a great video. Shout out my boy Ty Boogie. We got to stop comparing ourselves, bro. And inevitably we will get lost. But as long as you remember that you have your own path and you destined for greatness and you amazing. And as long as you wake up, you got a chance. As long as you realize that, you will always come back to reality, come back to yourself, and you will keep going crazy. Yes, sir. This is a great video. Shout out Ty Boogie. Like I said, if y'all enjoyed the message of it, anything you enjoyed in that, if you enjoyed the vid, just like the video, comment, and subscribe. Appreciate y'all being here. I love y'all. And until next time, I'll catch you guys later. Love y'all. Peace.